I won't need 4 USB spots anymore.
I really want one of those printers that's all lasers, but it's just like super sleek and streamlined, and it's like
Mm,
this thin, but like the length of a paper. It's
sweet.
it's like a scanner printer copier, and
Really?
uh, I or those might only be scanners, but I think the last time I checked, they're on their way to like having those really sleek ones where they're super thin and they do all three.
Hmm.
I love that. Although I guess it wouldn't be much of a copier. It could scan and then you could make copies from that. But yeah, you
I think
just
that's
kind
all
of
you need, though. Like,
you
like
feed one piece of paper through and it just prints. I'd love
that'd be
that.
kind of cool. Maybe I should get something like that.
I
As long as
re-
it's Wi-Fi, that'd be fun.
I really hate these large printers. I don't. I've started to like the Wi-Fi printers, but I'm still on the wired side of things.
Hmm.
Welcome back to Great Scott Marcus. We're in the topic, blah blah blah. We're talking about computer issues because we were having computer issues. Anyway, Mark. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I'm still on the wired side of things. I've heard some podcasters talking about how like, oh yeah, when we get to 5G, like wired's just going to be outdated, and it's just like you guys don't have any understanding of how the electromagnetic spectrum works. Like there is basically a finite amount of space that we can broadcast signals over. So no matter what, wireless is limited. However, wired is not. Um, so just something interesting
Yeah.
about the world we live in. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm using like USB-A mouse and printer, and the printer I've got is like 12 years old, and it's a inkjet. And every now and then when I need to print something, 9 times out of 10 the cartridge is already dried out because I print something once every 3 months. So it's
yeah,
just like, oh, I got to print something out again. Fuck, I have to buy another $40 worth of ink cartridges, and I'm sick of doing that. So I'm looking to get a laser jet with toner, so I don't have to fuck around with
Yeah,
buying
next
cartridges
next
anymore.
printer I get myself is laser, but my parents did get a
Yeah.
nice new wireless printer, which is what I will say about these wireless printers is it's nice that you can connect them directly to a router, and I'm connected. I'm wired
Yeah.
directly to the router, so that's nice too. But
Hmm.
even still, like small things like that, it's like wireless ain't so bad. But
Right.
yeah, I
Well,
always love like talking to a new gamer who is a very cool person, but then they're just
hmm.
like, I don't know why like my internet's so slow today. Is your phone connected? That has nothing to do with it. Try turning off the Wi-Fi. Whatever. Oh, I turned off the Wi-Fi. How's that
That's
work?
called bandwidth.
Oh my
Yay.
god. I don't know why Verizon did it, but they basically made the worst commercial ever, where
Oh, with the people on the wall or some
they
shit
tried to
like that.
shove like 5 people through a door, and they
Yeah.
tried to like it seemed like they were trying to excuse themselves, and it's just like
No, they were. Like, Verizon's a terrible company.
they are a terrible company. Fuck you,
Um,
Verizon.
yeah, that's why I left them. Yay.
I actually, as kind of nearing more independence continues on, I am actually looking into that Citizens Wireless. It's not so bad.
Check
Um,
out Boom, what I
I
use.
also heard Boom.
I'm paying $40 a month for 5 gigs and unlimited talk and text.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and the plus side is I am using Verizon towers.
And
So
they
this
use like almost all of the towers.
yeah. So and well, because I travel a lot, so I'm like I know Verizon. I know that every place I've traveled, Verizon's been great for it coverage wise. I just don't want the company fucking sucks.
They do.
Um, yeah.
I hate
So
walking.
I was just like,
I hate
I
walking
want
in
their
Verizon
towers.
stores. It feels like you're treated like such a tool. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
anyway,
like you're just a number on their list, which you really are.
should we
Um,
change the topic? Should it not be sleep?
you know what? I think when we both have more sleep, and I look like hell right now. It's like
yeah,
my
me
leg
too.
just took a shit on my face. Like I look like I'm so
Turn
just like
turn on
washed
your
out,
turn on your front
exposed.
light. That'll help.
They are on, like, and they're yellow, but I look
Oh,
like I
wow.
haven't seen the sun in days.
Yeah, there's just too many lights must be like occurring on
Oh,
your face
oh,
right now. We
whatever.
should set up some lamps for you sometime. Maybe when Jersey and I actually come down.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Huh?
Mark, we're here and we're going to talk about sleep. You had 2 hours.
Sleep.
I had a nice 8 hours. Didn't expect that. I only expected like six. But
Oh,
yeah,
uh,
we're gonna have
nice.
some interesting perspectives on this because my body requires that I basically sleep the intended amount due to my pain issues. But I'm gonna let you kick it off.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because as of lately, over the past couple of years, after college, essentially, eh,
Oh God, college
no,
and sleep. Oh
I'm gonna
man.
say after when I got this job, I think it was when I was just like, you know what? I think my body and my brain needs 7 to 8 hours of rest every night to function properly. And I realized that is absolutely not the case still.
Mhm.
I am more than capable of functioning properly and getting shit done with 4 to 5 hours a night for 4 nights in a row. Granted, I feel like if I did that on a consistent basis, I would probably go
You
clinically
really
insane.
start
It's
to yeah,
probably not healthy for you at
really
all.
start to wear down.
Exactly. But I did it and it was fine. I think I got like 21 hours of sleep in 4 days. Like it was pretty rough. But the thing that was kind of fueling me is that I had an assignment to complete and I completed it. Like I had a deadline and I was excited about it and it was a lot of fun. And I think that's kind of what drove me. I was going to bed at like 2:30, 3 o'clock and still waking up at 7:30 and going to work. And it was just kind of funny because, I'll be at work and my brain's in overdrive. I'm thinking about the assignment and keeping going. Um, but if I didn't have anything going on and I go to work, I get 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep. I'm still sluggish as hell throughout the day because I'm miserable at my job, I guess. Um,
Oh,
but
oh,
yeah, and then there's today, which I think I might have slept about 2 hours last night after a wedding and some after party shenanigans. But yeah, I went to bed super late, barely slept. I think I might have passed out in my parents' chair before coming down to Columbus. But it's like I know I don't feel right, but I'm functioning fine. It's and honestly, I feel like I love sleep. Fucking love sleep. I love sleeping so much, but it's more I think the food intake than it is sleep that really keeps you going.
mm.
It's like if you
Food
don't eat,
food
if
cannot
you don't
replace
sleep,
sleep.
it doesn't replace it, no. But if you don't eat, even if you do sleep, you still get really tired and wore out. I think just because you don't have you're burning all your energy. You're not intaking any more energy.
Sleep
Um,
sleep is a recovery process, whereas food
right.
is
Well, I'm just talking like short term
yeah
type things. I'm
yeah
not
yeah.
saying like sleep 2 hours every night, but start
All of
eating
you out
like
there should
5,000 calorie
replace sleep
diets.
with food. It'll be great.
So basically, instead of going to sleep for 8 to 10 hours, just visit Golden Corral and just go to town.
Wow, that was oddly specific. Why Golden Corral? We are not sponsored by Golden Corral.
Uh, they have buffets, right? And
I
they're
don't
open like
know.
all fucking
Do they
day. I thought Golden
still
Corral's
even
a buffet place.
exist?
I think so. I thought that was a buffet place. It's the only one I can
No.
think of off the top of my head. And
Um,
I feel like they're open super late. It's like the
Perkins.
Denny's of
That's
buffets.
Denny's. Yeah, there's is doesn't Denny's have a buffet?
Maybe.
Um,
When's the last time?
Eaton Park definitely has a buffet.
I haven't been to Eden Park in a long time.
There's one right around the corner from me, so that's why
Nice.
now. So yeah, sleep is kind of a restorative process that people can take for granted, especially when you kind of. For people who might not be as aware of their body as myself or
Right.
and uh, it's it's like the changing of pressure systems. I'm sure you feel it, maybe not as much as I do, but like when a storm's rolling in, when we're going up 20 degrees, when we're going down
Hmm.
40 degrees, these things everybody actually feels. You can see it in people's when you actually are very aware of these things. You can actually see it in people's attitudes, the way that
Hmm.
people act, how tired they are, or how with it they are, and yeah, sleep is this weird thing. It's
It is an interesting thing. I was thinking about
it's
that.
fucking so like in college I was just like we are literally basically defenseless for like 8 hours out of our day.
Mhm.
And that one's always struck me because it's just like we are surprisingly comfortable for how like people want to be aware and informed of things and like be on the ball, but for 8 hours out of our day, 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 4 to 8 hours, sometimes 2 to 8 hours, yeah, you just make yourself completely unaware, completely defenseless, and
Mhm.
we are going to get rid of this eventually.
You think so?
100%. Look at everything we do, every single thing. We
Hmm.
are try to make our lives more efficient and more involved. Dishwashers, washing machines, anything that simply streamlines a process. Wrinkle-free shirts,
Yes.
fast food, restaurants, pre-made meals, pre-made ingredients for meals if you want to still make your own meals, robotic vacuums, robots, self-driving cars. All of this
Hmm.
returns to us time, and that's really what we're trying to regain as society continues to try to progress. And there is no bigger time suck than a third of your fucking life, which you will
Yeah.
be asleep for. Probably a little less, but yeah. Through technology, I think we basically just want to achieve less sleep or no sleep at all, because that is 8 hours of your day. That's 8 hours more of Christmas Day. That's 8 hours more of Valentine's Day. 8 hours more of fucking. And it's
Yeah.
fascinating because this is, and in fact, I'm surprised that you're not one of these people who's like, fuck that, I'm never giving up my sleep, because
I
that's
mean,
what a lot of
I
people
love
would say.
sleeping.
But I love sleeping too because it feels good. But
Yeah.
really, outside of that and outside of the restorative process, it's quite useless. We're
Hmm.
not getting anything done. We're not. I mean, we enjoy it.
Our brains are very active, though.
So
There's
so
that.
so it's like sex. It if sex
Maybe
didn't
that's why I
if
prefer
sex
sleep
didn't
over sex sometimes.
if sex didn't feel good, then the human race would have died off a while ago. In fact, all animal races would have died
Yeah.
off a while ago, because it's actually quite scary the way your muscles kind of almost seize, and the way in which your body kind of almost convulses, and
You're like, what the fuck is
your
this thing
your
that just came
heart
out?
your heart rate becomes incredible. Oh my god. And yeah, like pupils dilate, and it's really something you wouldn't want your body to go through, except
Hmm.
it feels phenomenal.
My, stat-
Huh?
my static is back.
Oh yeah. Let's say we're about halfway through this. Let's try to add another 12 minutes to the conversation, but
Okay.
let's try to truck through this. So yeah, like sleep is another one of these things that like we kind of continue to do it because it feels good.
Mm.
It's there's almost this correlation between someone who doesn't have sex a lot or ever, and someone who doesn't sleep a lot or ever. Eventually, your body just starts to be like, "Oh, fuck it, we don't need that anymore," even though you still
Right.
do. Sex you technically don't need, but your
But
body.
you stop craving it. You stop like having urges.
Exactly,
Um,
your body stops producing as
yeah.
much melatonin, except that when it comes to sleep, it actually becomes unhealthy.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's also there's also this interesting correlation between like calories and how much of the brain we access, because if we actually start to access more of our brain, more than just the quote unquote 10%, which is probably has a slight deviation here and there dependent on the person, then we would actually have to consume like an enormous amount more of calories. And yet technology could allow us to do these things, allow us to access more of our
Hmm.
brain, allow us not to sleep, basically allow us to have restorative processes. Nano machines could actually do this for us, where it's just like, oh, don't need to sleep for another month, just because these machines are so efficient.
Yeah.
And yeah, take back like time to watch Netflix series. Fuck working more, by the way. 40 hours a week. That's it. That's it. Like maybe 60
It should be
for
like
those.
35, man. Like 40 hours is too much.
Yeah, like having had a girlfriend who lived in Europe, that yeah, they really don't work their asses off like we do in
They
America.
really don't.
And it
Americans
kind
are retarded.
we kind of are. And so yeah, I guess just like for me, yep. For
I think I'm doing all right.
yeah, not filling up as much of those sleeves.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, not as under as much lighting. Like this actually does really add to the sweat.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I'm sure.
um, so yeah, so I guess in college when I kind of started to recognize a lot of these, I don't want to call them high concepts, but in a sense they are, because you have to kind of reason yourself out of like sleep is unnecessary. Fuck you. I love my sleep. Sleep feels good. Which is again kind of one of those visceral negative reactions. You want to defend this thing that actually is kind of unnecessary to our lives if we can actually just get rid of it, because we could literally reclaim what could be a quarter more of our time. Which would
Well,
be,
and knowledge too.
yeah, exactly. You can spend time reading more, spend time going to classes, advancing a career, not working more because we already do that enough, watching Netflix, playing games, going to the beach, working out. All of these
Doing
things
all
take
healthy things.
that's one of the things that I feel like really has taken away from like trying to get the Warframe series back on track. Not only working 40 hours for the over 40 hours per week the past 4 weeks out of the 5 weeks, but also like just getting in that workout time too, because it is important to me. But that's 2 hours that I want almost every day, but I can't reclaim it. You know,
Right.
what we can reclaim is something we're doing nothing with. I also hate all the. I on a side note, you know, I like when I think about like things that reclaim your workout time, like all of these stupid devices that it's gonna vibrate on your abs, like all that shit. Like I don't know how anyone thinks that stuff works.
I don't know. Gullible people watching infomercials late at night when they're not
I mean,
sleeping.
I'm sure that there are literal people that get results from some of these things, but it's just like,
I'm sure.
dear God, just go work
Yeah.
out. I did this in 5 months.
So, what do you think is going to happen first? The ability to, I guess, not need sleep or have some sort of apparatus to rejuvenate ourselves, or the ability to, like, digitally put our brains on, hard drives, whatever, so the way to like download information into our minds or store information from our minds.
So this
Which
is
comes
this is
first?
tough because a lot of the conversation right now around technology is, revolving around like AI and robotics, and this is tough also because for a long time I've also wanted to talk about human beings are the machine race. We're not going to create the machine race. We are the machine race. Eventually, we will seamlessly merge with machine. We won't be able to tell where human starts and machine starts and either end. And I think that that's a large part of this, where it's just like, oh yeah, there's this machine that was implanted within me at birth, that, or after birth, that basically allows me to not sleep. It's also kind of here's another high sci-fi concept. It's also kind of like, well, we got rid of fucking because it was kind of ruining our society. And I don't know if that's one we'll
There's a
ever.
movie about that. Well, not really about that, but it's part of it. Demolition Man. Demolition Man.
It's one of those. It
It's
really,
with Sylvester Stallone and
I don't know if it was specifically Demolition Man.
yeah, but yeah, basically they like sex does not exist anymore. It's only digital. Like they like put these suits on and they like fuck virtually. It's like, well, that's weird but convenient.
But the point, see, that's where it goes wrong, because the point of actually removing sex is that you're removing it from the brain, not from the physical state of being, because technically sex gets in the way of a lot of things. It drives decision making where it should not. It's great. I do well at it. But at the
I've had no complaints.
yeah, exactly. But at the exact same time, it is this thing that is also can get very in the way. It causes overpopulation where it doesn't need to.
Yes.
Overpopulation causes a lot of degradation of the environment. These things are important, and For me, yeah, I think the question, actually, the comparison is which happens first. We remove sex or we remove sleep. I think we remove sleep first because sex is a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion, and a lot shorter time, whether it's like 20 minutes or an
Maybe
hour.
for you. Oh shit! I need sleep.
Is 20 minutes to an hour really that bad? Like,
I'm just
you're an
being
ass.
dumb. I
Um,
know.
so,
uh,
so like, yeah, eventually, I think, yeah, sleep is that one where it's just like, if we didn't need this thing, it'd be a lot easier. We'd have a lot more to do,
yeah.
a lot more going on. Um, what was the other one what was the
I was
comparison
saying, like the ability to, like put information on our brains like digitally, or put whatever matter or memories, thoughts on our brains into a digital platform.
So here's the comparison I make to people all the time. Using a keyboard is a process. I bring that up because computers are actually incredibly simple once you actually understand them.
Hmm.
They aren't capable. A lot of what goes on in AI is not the computer thinking and creating for itself. It's humans that did a lot of the thinking and creating, and then we put it into algorithms that the computer can use to manipulate information. What the
Right.
computer is doing is literally typing on a keyboard. We don't just know how to type on a keyboard, it became a process of our brain that we had to be taught. There were intelligent people at one point who said, this is a keyboard and this is how you learn to type on it. And so I think that a lot of the hubbub around AI, and I really do actually want to find an AI and be able to sit down with it sometime to actually understand it more fully. But
Hmm.
I do, for my understanding of computer engineering, we're a long way off from AI, from people being able to be digitized and still be able to think. A processor is not able to think, it processes.
I'm not saying like, having our brains on computers and pretending that like it's still ourselves. I'm saying like in the Matrix, they plug their heads
Oh.
in, and then like an information is being put into their brain. Um, do you think that is something that would be
Human
more feasible?
augmentation, I don't see why not. It's so tough because it's
I feel
that
like it's almost synonymous to being able to remove sleep, because like when you're in sleep, like your brain is still very active, and in fact, I'm pretty sure it's much more active
I feel like
when you're asleep. So it's like if you had the ability to put information into your brain, it'd probably be during a sleeping mode, but at the
I
same
feel like
time, you can
there
get rid of
are a
it.
lot more dangers to. I'm checking the weather because I still want to go and work out tonight, and it is looking pretty crummy out. Yeah, apparently it's supposed to start storming here shortly.
Oh, what's
Anyway,
up?
Anyway, welcome back, Static. Nice to have you here with us.
Yeah,
Mark, throw out your entire computer and everything attached to it.
yeah, I have a feeling it has to do with the amount of cables behind my computer, and
Yeah,
I'll fuck with it.
you gotta be careful what crosses what because it can kind of
Yeah,
cause some
I'll clean
magnetization.
that up. Jesus Christ.
Woo! So for
It hurt
me,
us talking about it. Now we pissed it off.
apparently, um, for me, that is a very interesting quandary because technically we're already digitizing our brains. It's the way in which
Hmm.
games work, where it's just like, how is the brain going to respond to this digital information? We kind of do it with VR. We kind of have just done it with flat screens for a long time. These are both things we push towards. However, I think that we do have a better grasp on chemical manipulation, which is where I think that a lot more of removing sleep will come from the
Hmm.
chemical side of things as opposed to occupying digitally. Um, It's tough. It's tough because we are not scientists. I'd love to sit down. I'd love to sit down with people who actually pursue these things, study
Hmm.
these things, and see what they have to say on all of it.
It'd be interesting.
It
It
would
really
be.
would.
It would be.
With that being
Mark,
said, I am hella excited about getting some sleep tonight.
time to go get some sleep. But first, I'm gonna exhaust my body again. So,
Oh, hey.
hey. Oh, not like that. Not
Okay,
like
good, good,
that.
good,
Why
good,
is
good.
that good? Well, should you not want good things for me?
I don't know, because I'm a terrible person.
This has been a terrible episode. I'm gonna throw this out. I'm gonna throw this out. All right.
Oh, shit.
You guys have a good one out there. Get some sleep while we still need it. It's very healthy for you. As always, if you like what we had to do here, do the thing. Mark,
Do good things, guys.
and don't forget, take a second to look beneath the surface at things, too. It's very important. Makes you a much more understanding person. Thanks for watching.
Bye.